365 FM, Instagram at Power365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your source for news and insight. This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power 365 Radio, we pride ourselves on being your go-to source.
Good morning, dear listeners out there. You're welcome to yet another interesting edition of Power 365 Online Radio Newspaper Review. My name is Olamide Adeniji, and I'll be your host for this morning. Happy weekend to all of you out there. Thank God it's Friday. Okay, so I'm bringing stories from Daily Independent. The first story that comes to my attention is this major headline that says Senate okays death penalty for drug traffickers, others. And this is saying why I paid surprise visit to Rivers Assembly quarters by Fubara. And SEC rolls out new rules on insurance allotment of private companies' securities. Telecoms sector contribution to GDP hits 13.5%, raked in 33 trillion in 2023. IGP charges police legal officers to protect citizens' rights due process. Tinubu appoints Minister of State for Petroleum Resources (EPO) as co-chair NCDMB. Senate reps disagree on new 0.5% cybersecurity levy. Alleged abuse of office. EFCC tenders document against ex-CBN Governor Emefiele. And we have this that says, okay, this is saying Enugu government fund set up committee on infrastructural upgrade of Enugu Airport. We've created strong institutions that will make Oyo thrive. That's coming from Governor Seyi Makinde. And this is saying VistaJet expands services to Nigeria, targets corporate private individuals. Tinubu appoints Chukwuemeka MD of Ogun-Osun River Basin Development Authority. Revolution Digital Banking UBA introduces transaction dispute menu. Others. Chain Reactions Africa emerges PR agency of the year. And okay, so there are so many stories. Lagos Kano rail line ready for freight operations. That's coming from federal government. 1 billion agribusiness endowment fund will boost food security, create jobs. That's coming from Ekiti Monarch. Alright, so I'll bring you the stories and more when I return. Just stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch the dial. It's still Power 365 Online Radio.
This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power 365 Radio, we pride ourselves on being your go-to source for authentic news and insight. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your #1 online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power 365 Radio by following us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook at Power 365 FM, Instagram at Power 365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your source for news and insight. This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power 365 Radio, We pride ourselves on being your go-to source for authentic news and insights. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your number one online.
You're welcome back. Okay, so I'm bringing this first story to you, which is from the Daily Independent front page. Okay, this is saying Senate okays death penalty for drug traffickers. And so the story says the upper chamber of the National Assembly on Thursday approved death penalties for importers, manufacturers, and traffickers of hard drugs. The decision of the Senate to approve death penalty as punishment for importation of hard drugs into the country was sequel to the debate on a bill of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Act Amendment Bill 2024. The report on the bill was jointly produced by the Committees on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, Drugs and Narcotics. Okay, so pick a copy of the Daily Independent. This is a strong one into drug traffickers in the country. Henceforth, it's death penalty. And this is saying reps probe controversial Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway project. The House of Representatives on Thursday adopted a motion to investigate the procurement process of the multi-billion-naira Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway project initiated by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Okay, so that's also on page 1 of the Daily Independent. It spills over to page 29 of the same newspaper. And this is saying ex-aviation minister Sirika daughter, son-in-law arraigned get 300 million naira bill. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on Thursday arraigned a former minister of aviation in the President Muhammad Buhari administration, Adi Sirika, his daughter Fatima Jalal Sule Amama, and Al-Durak Investment Limited for abuse of office to the tune of 2.7 billion naira. Okay, get a copy of the newspaper to read more on this sad story. And so let me go to the next story. It says Senate reps disagree on new 0.5 cybersecurity levy. The Senate and the House of Representatives on Thursday disagreed on the Central Bank of Nigeria's CBN circular directing all banks to commence charging 0.5% cybersecurity levy on all electronic transactions within the country. Okay, so pick a copy of the Daily Independent to read more on that. Enugu government fund set up committee on infrastructural upgrade of Enugu airport. The partnership by the Enugu state government and the federal government towards the completion and operationalization of the international terminal, as well as the construction of a cargo terminal and warehouse at the Akanu Ibiam International Airport, Enugu, has received a boost following the constitution of a committee to fine-tune the terms of cooperation between the state government and the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, and work out modalities towards the actualization of the long-awaited infrastructural upgrade. Okay, let me bring you back to Oyo State. We created strong institutions that will make Oyo thrive. That's coming from Governor Seyi Makinde. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde said his administration has successfully created strong institutions that will stand the test of time and make the state thrive across different sectors. The governor noted that states do not need strong governors or administrators, but strong institutions that can make them do well and add value in all ramifications. It's on page 2 of the Daily Independent. Read more of that story. VistaJet expands services to Nigeria, targets corporate private individuals. Alright, you may pick a copy of that paper to read that. Tinubu appoints Chukwuemeka, an Igbo man, MD Osun, as the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of OWOH Rural Basin Development Authority. Engineer Woke is a seasoned engineer and politician. He has served as chairman of Emohua local government area of Rivers State and was chief of staff government house Port Harcourt for many years. Okay, so read more of that story. Something is telling me is a wiki boy. Wiki Woke. Okay. Alright, so this is Chain Reactions Africa emerges PR agency. That's a PR story. Okay, you may pick a copy of the newspaper to read that. Lagos Kano Rail line ready for freight operations. Freight services may soon commence operations on the Lagos Kano narrow gauge rail line as the contractors, the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, has announced that the line has been linked up to Zawakaki Dala Dry Port, the commercial city of Kano. Read more of that story. This is saying X2 1 billion Naira Agribusiness Endowment Fund will boost food security, create jobs. Ekiti Monarch, a traditional ruler in Ekiti State and Onimesi of Imesi Ekiti in Ayekire local government area of the state, Oba Festus Olatunde Olaibi Yemi II has commended Chancellor of the Ekiti State University, Dr. Tunji Olowo Lafe, over his commitment of 1 billion Naira endowment fund to power agribusiness for the graduates of the institution. Okay, read more of that story. And DSS convenes Northwest Security Conference. The Directorate of State Security Services has convened the Northwestern High Security Zonal Conference in Kano to address the new security challenges facing the region and the nation. The conference, which is the 14th quarterly conference of State Directors of Security, SDS in the Northwest Geopolitical Zone, aims to facilitate operational and intelligence sharing synergy among state DSS directors. Read more of that story. It's on page 5 of the Daily Independent. Ondo Guba women demand deputy governor slot in Ondo. In preparation for the November 16, 2024 gubernatorial election, Ondo State women groups on Thursday held inaugural meetings in Akure calling on governorship candidates of all political parties in the state to pick female running mates. And that might be true. If they pick a female running mate, there might not be any squabbles. So it's an advice to all these guber candidates to pick a woman as their deputy. Osun Transport Master Plan to be ready soon. That's coming from Governor Adeleke. Governor Ademola Adeleke has announced his administration's plan to release to the public the Osun State Transport Master Plan to facilitate integrated connectivity in Osun economy. And this is in collaboration with surveyors, galvanized governance in Lagos. Sanwo-Olu, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has said the collaboration between the government and the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors has been instrumental to advancing governance in the state through the Teams Plus development agenda designed to transform the state. Read more of that story. It's also on page 6 of the Daily Independent newspaper. Okay, so let me jump up to the next story. IGP charges police legal officers to protect citizens' rights due process. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetokun, has charged police legal officers to protect the rights of citizens and uphold the rule of law within the Nigerian police force. A statement by ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, spokesperson of the police, said the IGP said this when he convened a significant meeting with police legal officers at the force headquarters Abuja on Thursday. Read more of the story. It's on page 6 of the Daily Independent. Tinubu appoints Minister of State for Petroleum Resources (ECPO) as co-chairman NCDMB. Okay, what's NCDMB? That's a Nigeria Content Development and Monitoring Board. Okay, so that's the Minister of State is Mr. Ekpo. Okay, why I paid surprise visit to Rivers Assembly quarters by Fubara. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, I prefer to call him embattled Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, on Thursday stormed the residential quarters of the State House of Assembly located at the Port Harcourt Aba Express Road, a day after lawmakers loyal to him elected Victor Oko-Jumbo as the functional Speaker of the House. Governor Fubara visited the quarters shortly after inspecting the 15.24 kilometers long Emohua Abalama Tema Junction Dual Carriage Road project on Thursday. The governor, in a statement signed by his chief press secretary, explained that his visit to the residential quarters of the State House of Assembly was to undertake an on-the-spot assessment of condition of the structures for possible rehabilitation work to restore its status and make it livable. Okay. And then alleged abuse of office. EFCC tenders documents against ex-governor, CBN Governor Emefiele. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, through its witness on Thursday, tendered bundles of documents before the court during the trial of the embattled former CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, charged with abuse of office, alleged $4.5 billion and 2.8 billion fraud. Wow. Okay. And okay, so let's quickly go to other pages of the newspaper. Our time is going. Okay, so the next story I'm bringing to you is on okay, the next story will come from, okay, there's this political article. It says the missing 20 billion Benue local government areas funds. All right, so it's on page 10 of the Daily Independent. And then the editorial of the Daily Independent says revisiting the fifth alteration of the Nigerian Constitution, why Nigeria should prioritize massive investment in nutrition, child protection. And okay, IATA launches program to enhance GSE initiative. Cybersecurity levy. TUC requests federal government to order CBN to withdraw policy or face mass action. Okay, let's read that one. The Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC, has called on the federal government to give a marching order to the Central Bank of Nigeria to withdraw the circular and cancel the planned cybersecurity levy or face mass action. Okay, read more of that. It's on page 13 of the Daily Independent, and this is saying global migration pushes remittance to record highs, and his SCSN wants 65 years of retirement age. Cybersecurity levy. TUC, okay, that's a continuation of the story I read earlier. And international bureaus, LBSSC, advocate best practices in water stewardship. Okay, our time is going. Okay, so let me quickly bring this. Federal government urges investors to begin car production now. Banks loans to private sector dropped by nearly 10 trillion naira in March. African steel company denies facility shutdown. Why Nigeria joins others to accede Afrexim Bank's funds for export development in Africa. Federal government encouraged to embrace biotechnology for food security despite critics. That's coming from CASER. Okay, and let me bring this next one. It's saying advantage of solar energy. That's coming from Oguntunde. Oguntunde is the Chief Executive Officer of Squiddy Global Solar Power Solutions. And then let's see this next one. I want fashion to serve as beacon of opportunity in Nigeria. OWOH. NYC Orientation Cultural Carnival unites Nigerian youth. And this is saying Nigerian tourist sets out to visit all 54 African countries. That's a tourist. Okay, let's read that. His name is Ilerioluwa Babalobi. A 31-year-old Nigerian tourist has unveiled an ambitious journey to visit all 54 African countries, aiming to raise awareness for social interventions across the continent and clinch a Guinness World Record. Starting from the Red Cross office in Lagos, Babalobi's tour will see him traverse the continent, spending an average of 5 days in each country visited. Notably, he will be relying solely on public transportation, making him the first African to undertake such an adventure. This 9-month tour, if successful, will make Babalobi the first African to visit all 54 countries without using an aeroplane, relying solely on public transport. That's commendable. We wish him best of luck. His name is Ilerioluwa Babalobi. Alright. And then today's Friday. Let's quickly check what's up on the Alpha Ham page of Daily Independent. Imamship Grand Mufti CIO Mo's establishment of council to ease succession. Poverty, lack of economic opportunities may cause major causes of insecurity in northern Nigeria. Okay, and the path to a smoke-free Nigeria. House tasks committee to probe Foreign Affairs Ministry missions activities. DSTV media sales. MIPAN conference dissects cross-platform content exposure. Lagos restates commitment to providing more homes. Okay, congratulations to residents of Lagos. House of Representatives urges Shetima to convene emergency meeting of NDPHC board. NDPHC is Niger Delta Power Holding Company. Okay. Niger Delta Power Holding Company has always been under some sort of controversy or the other. We hope the presidency will find a lasting solution to that problem. Wike cautions traders against unilateral protests, urges dialogue. CSO Sowore protest at Force headquarters demand release of journalists. Typical of Sowore. And then this is saying Delso to uphold culture of effective service delivery assures Vice Chancellor. Edo government waits into about Benin, Enigi lingering face-off. Disabled persons to get improved budgetary allocation. Senate okays death penalty. Yes, I brought you that news earlier, and the continuation is on page 29 of the Daily Independent. Let's quickly check what's going on at on the sports page. Finidi should have foreign assistance if he desires them. Truth Econ resumes training after injury layoff. Kwara United wants fans support ahead of rescheduled Rivers United game. Ondo Sports Commissioner promises more partnership with Swan. And so many stories. That's where we're going to call it a day. Thank you for staying tuned to our newspaper review. Don't touch the dial, don't go anywhere. After this is our Yoruba version. This is the Yoruba version of newspaper review, which will be coming to you in a moment, any moment from now. And the Yoruba version, as you well know, is Latino Weroin. Thank you for staying tuned. My name is Olamide Adenji. Do have a blessed day.
This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power 365 Radio, we pride ourselves on being your go-to source for authentic news and insight. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your #1 online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power 365 Radio by following us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook at Power 365 FM, Instagram at Power 365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your source for news and insight. This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy